How do you make friends in CRNA school, and which people are going to be good study buddies? I have two separate approaches for this depending on how your program structure is. So for my program, we were online for 6 months before we met in real life. So over those 6 months of Zoom sessions, I heard people's opinions about everything from healthcare equity to reproductive justice. So I kind of figured out who I was and wasn't going to vibe with during those classes. But let's say that if you guys are all meeting in person and you're starting in person for didactic, I say you should be the one to organize an event because you guys won't have elected a class president or anything yet. So organize an event where you guys all get together, do a social hour, because as you guys start off, people will kind of splinter off into kind of study groups. But starting off strong with a bunch of group activities or group get-togethers and dinner parties is a good way to kind of meet everybody and figure out their vibe. Study buddies wise and kind of general broad friendship wise are kind of different things. I think that you can still hang out with most of your cohort, but you're not going to study really well with everybody. So first of all, know what works for you and figure out what works for you, and then incorporate people into that. What works for me is solo study and then getting together with a group of my 4 friends the night before an exam where we teach back method and we go over any gaps of knowledge that we might have. So we just talk through the study guide the night before the exam, but it's mostly solo study. I do not study with the people who are at the top of my class because I have not prioritized making a 98% on every single exam. For me, I think it's important to understand the concepts and to get mastery, but the 20 hours difference in studying between getting an 88 on an exam and a 98 on the exam, I see those as marginal gains. I don't see those 20 hours as something that would be better spent making a higher grade versus doing an extra shadowing shift or writing an extra lecture for the business. So I kind of hang out with the people who we all push each other, we get together, we score in the 88 to 92% range, but I don't hang out with the top of the class because that level of honestly anxiety doesn't work really well for me, and I see that people aren't incorporating time for self-care, for hobbies, for other things. So for me, I have a benchmark that I try to set, and it's at high B to low A threshold, and then I surround myself with people who also have the same approach.